Hi, Immortal Recaps. This episode another wonderful movie. The United States has 2 interceptor missile launch sites to intercept any nuclear warhead launches. The first, Fort Greely in Alaska, was attacked by unidentified assailants presumably affiliated with terrorists, while 16 nuclear warheads were simultaneously seized on Russian territory. The second site is an isolated platform in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. U.S. Army Captain J. Collins was recently reassigned to the second of 2 interceptor missile launch sites. After ending a high-profile case when she reports sexual misconduct by one of her superiors, she faces hate, bullying, and threats from her colleagues. In the workplace, under the command of Lieutenant Col. Marshall and working together with Corporal Baker Beaver and Cape Rahul Shah at the station's command center, Collins found himself on the last line of defense after the enemy took over Fort Greely. The station was infiltrated by a small group of agents led by former intelligence soldier Kessel, who quickly killed Marshall and the other occupants of the base, leaving only Collins, Shaw, and an unruly Beaver. Province, which was grazed by stray bullets, hid in the command center. The intruders attempted to negotiate access to the command center, through which they could disarm the interceptor and leave the U.S. mainland open to nuclear strikes from the 16 stolen warheads. However, they were repulsed and instead tried to enter with bellows. An agent launches a surprise attack after entering through a trapdoor in the floor, but is defeated and killed by Collins and Shaw. Beaver wakes up and proves himself to be an insider to the departed and fueled by a big payday and xenophobia, keeping both Collins and Shaw at gunpoint while allowing Kessel and the rest come in and take control. Kessel hijacked a live stream and streamed his manifesto on the failures of American history, naming 16 American cities to be destroyed and ordering terrorists to launch nuclear weapons. Multiply immediately. Collins breaks free of his restraints and locks Kessel, Beaver, and a minion out of the command center, while also defeating and killing Kira, the only enemy agent still in the room, and a minion. Kessel tried to force Collins to surrender, torturing her father, but she refused and her father was apparently killed when the transmission was cut. Kessel switched to Plan B, initiating the protocol for scuttling the station, hoping to sink the station if he couldn't get it under control. As the station began to sink, Shaw volunteered to step through the trapdoor from the ground into the ocean below and manually close the station's hatches, in order to slow down the station's sinking, so that the equipment the interceptor is still capable of launching and destroying the warheads when they eventually pass through the airspace. The Shaw succeeds, but he is killed by Beaver. Collins decided to take a gamble, hiding in the command center and letting Kessel, Beaver and the rest of his minions take over and neutralize the seemingly empty center. Her ruse works, with Beaver going to check the station's roof to find and eliminate her. Collins can sneak up on the other henchmen while Kessel flees the room. Grabbed a laptop, Collins climbed onto the roof and plugged in the device, hoping to be able to manually launch the interceptor using this method. However, she is found by Beaver, and the 2 engage in hand-to-hand combat, with Collins winning after using barbed wire to decapitate Beaver. Kessel, who had called in a Russian submarine to pick up the group of agents earlier, found Collins just as she successfully launched the interceptor just seconds before the nukes passed the interception point. His plan failed. He got into a fight with Collins, who defeated and overpowered him, just as the Russian submarine came out of the sea. Instead, Kessel and the Russian captain saluted Collins before leaving. Collins later recovered from her ordeal in the hospital and she personally received a promotion from the President of the United States for her efforts. She was also visited by her father, who was rescued by friends who witnessed her plight on live TV, and he comforted her in her grief. Sad about Shaw's death. Thank you for staying with us. Remember to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.